So one of the hardest processes in digital PR, in my opinion, is coming up with the right ideas for your clients, which are going to get you in the media. So I've got 3 ways here which you can use today so that you can start getting yourselves published in the media. So firstly, one of the best ways, in my opinion, is to look at what's already been done out there. And I know other agencies do this because we've been ripped off plenty of times by other agencies who have copied our campaigns. So I'm not saying to copy people's campaigns, but just look what's been done and see if you can improve on that, see if you can get another idea from that campaign, and, just generally to get your brain moving. Because sometimes I find when you work with a new client, it's like, where do we start here? Especially if it's in an industry you've never worked in before. So head over to Google and think of how people in that industry refer to themselves. So if you were a recruitment company, for example, you might want to put in, go to the news section here and type in recruitment expert, because generally what happens is the news refer to experts in the industry to beef out their stories, and that's where you want to get your links from, and that's how you're going to do it. So if we look at recruitment expert here, we can see there's tons of content that's been created by other agencies and things like that. So if you have a look, there's links from stories in MSN, the Daily Mail, the Sun, and you can keep going, Yahoo, Finance, Daily Mail once again. So if you have a look at some of these, you can see here. So I'm a recruitment expert. Here's the real reason why Gen Z are struggling to get jobs. That's a simple idea you can share with your audience if you're in recruitment. And of course, journalists want to write about those type of stories too. You can see once again, there's a story in the Sun. Once again, I'm a recruitment expert. Adding these 6 things to your CV can seriously boost your chances of getting an interview. And it's the same format. In recruitment, it looks like they want expert comments on things. So if you're a recruitment or you're working in recruitment, that's the way you're going to get into these big publications. And as you can see here, they've got the expert here giving information, and then they should have a link in here. But sometimes I know the Daily Mail don't like the link. So we'll have a quick look. No, there's no link in there, unfortunately, for them. And this works in the UK, the US, and probably other countries in the world too, because everyone in the news wants an expert to pad out their story because it gives them more authenticity and more trust with their readers. So once again, there's a recruitment expert giving their information here. So search Google, see what's been done, and then see if you can improve on that. Don't copy. I think that's a lazy way of doing PR, but have a look if there's anything you can improve on. So the second way, once again, is by doing your research on what has been done. So if you use a tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush or SEMrush, however you say it, you can look through a company's backlink profile to see if they've done any PR in the past. And this is read here, so we're sticking with the recruitment industry just to keep the example the same. And you can look down, they've got links from like BBC, but if we'll look down, we can try to see if there's any content we could mimic or beat, for example. So let's look here. Okay, so we can see here Business Insider DR92 link, and they've just basically collected the best 10 paying jobs that you don't need a degree for. This is obviously internal data that the company has, and if you have internal data, that's a great way to build backlinks. We have a client who is a private investigator, and he has a lot of internal data of people reaching out to him, wanting to do certain types of cases. And they work with like cheating partners and, people in unfaithful relationships. And we were able to use this internal data to present the story to the press, which got links back to the client's website. We looked at the type of jobs where people were most likely to cheat. And because the client had that data, we just had to package it up and send it to the press. So the third way, and this is another way to be creative, and it's one I like, is to play a word association game. So think of the industry you're in and just what are the topics that come to your mind straight away. So if we think of recruitment, one thing I would think of is like best paid jobs. Obviously, we've already got that, so they wouldn't be useful in this case. I think of CVs, so you could give information on things to include or not to include in the CVs. And if you have internal data, once again, you can look at things which are included on CVs, and if a person's got an interview or not, you can collect that data to say, look, these are the top 5 things you shouldn't have on a CV from our experience. And if you send that to the press, it's something new, it's your own data, you're more than likely to get links. Once again, I think of like things like interviews and things like that. So in recruitment, it would be all about expert comments, but it doesn't have to be. You can use sources like ONS, or it could be simple Google keyword search terms to look at which jobs are more in trend than others, or things like that. So they are just 3 ways to come up with ideas when creating a digital PR campaign. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you.